sit away alone all by myself. I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our last broadcast of this week till Friday, as we're taking tomorrow off for the newscast, that is. Tomorrow morning, we'll be here bright and early at 9 a.m. Eastern with our chili special. I'll be playing all of the chili videos that we've featured since the newscast have started to give you at least an hour of fun and games with Chili de Castro in our headlines. Then tomorrow night at 6 something, p.m. we will, 6:30 p.m. that is, we will be on the air with our special end credit sequence. So our end credit sequences will be special tomorrow night with at least half an hour of fun and games. On that note, we will be jumping right into our news. No winners again in GoFundMe race for Tuesday. Tuesday's GoFundMe campaign saw victory for our own campaign again, just an hour or so after we had declared the grand conspiracy was dead. Okay, we should have double-checked or called in on the conspiracy hotline, but we took the day with a $10 donation. Not sure if that's the victory to write home about, but it was the victory and we're thankful for that victory. Turning our attention to some of the people involved in the races who are apparently forgetting the existence of their campaigns, Christopher Direct D. Ruff revealed in a recent live stream that all of his sitting around during live streams while somebody else was working hard to rebuild a trailer wasn't just an act of laziness and ego. Instead, it was someone building him a new studio. As we've seen in our disastrous Kill Me Now theater last night on the All-Star panel, Ruff has a studio of his own and it kind of looks sort of pretty nice, with the typical quasi-radio setup with a professional microphone on a stand, mood lighting, unique wall signage, and everything to take a step up in production quality from a close-up angle. Wide shots still reveal it's a trailer, and all the focus was put into the money shot of the up-close angle of Ruff smoking or taking hits from his bong, looking 90s-era newsman-y as he delivers his messages to the masses. It's a step up from James Freeman sitting in his car, or Regan Benson screeching as she chews gum and attempts to walk at the same time. It's not quite as nice as the setup for Christopher Denver Metro Audit's Cordova, who has shown he has a complete office setup with a desk facing outwards and chairs for his guests beyond his immediate reach, keeping the room a functional office. He showed that when Freedom Jim and Direct D visited, after tricking him into being arrested in a classic troll the other month. His office was pretty spacious in that video, for a spare bedroom in his apartment being converted into a quasi-studio. DMA's setup is pretty much the same as Ruff's in function. Microphone off to the side, cool collection of signage and posters showing off his love for freedom, but not America, because that would be like the man, you know. And in DMA's case, extra lighting to show off his newly straightened teeth, stylish half goatee, and attempts to sexualize himself on camera. while DMA is obviously attempting to sexualize himself as he's dropped the big bone girlfriend and proclaimed himself a love god on dating channels run by other auditors. He's not above his prank calling program every weekend to show off that his transformation still makes him hip and cool, like open to the masses, y'all. And of course, DMA has yet to meet a filter. When Jose Chili de Castro was active in front of his green screen, there were always accusations that he used a filter to cover up his wrinkles and transformation over the past 2 years into a pudgy old man. De Castro's court appearances proved that the transformation was real, and without his trusty filters and carefully selected angles, he had turned into a man who resembled a shorter and less green version of the animated character Shrek in both facial features and body style. We're not one to criticize, as we're a puffy, doughy version of Santa Claus meets Norman Fell, allegedly, but De Castro was unrecognizable between the photos displayed on our Nevada judges, taken in the early 2000s when he was about to be kicked off of Power Rangers, and the man that showed up to court on multiple appearances now. Though, despite ego and vanity and pretend offices, none of these people compare at all to Sean Paul Long Island Audit's Riaz when it comes to filtering and makeup. Riaz's recent cameo videos feature the man in videos with his sunglasses and hat covering most of his face. His beard is strangely close cropped, almost to the point of Hulk Hogan's dreaded black beard in his NWO run in WCW as Hollywood Hulk Hogan, if anyone wants to Google that. He never takes off his hat on camera, but when he takes his sunglasses off, a filter instantly goes on. It's a generic over-the-top beauty filter that honestly makes him look like a baby face, with spray-on beard, on a giant man-sized body. It's startling to say the least, and probably not the best sign for the semi-proclaimed greatest auditor of his generation. On a side note, the judge in Riaz's case against the NYPD issued the following order on Tuesday. Order: the court will hold oral argument on defendant's motion to dismiss. This will be held on August 13, 2024 at 10 a.m. in Courthouse 11B of the Daniel Patrick Moynihan United States Courthouse in New York City. All in all, with all the money flowing into these professional auditors, with real subscriber bases that dwarf our tiny little channel, piles of cash to be had, and GoFundMe campaigns to ignore, it's nice to know that they're at least trying to look the part of real media professionals as we ponder changing our office around. Move the desk over to the corner, put up the green screen behind it, get the obnoxious microphone stand to hide the ugly parts of our face, skinny filter on, and the video we show will be of Olive sleeping, as we are nowhere near ready to put our visage on camera. No amount of conspiracy money will make that change. Well, just yet anyway. Where's that Stairmaster? And will Pants lend us his Floby? If you'd like to become one of the wonderful readers who will be contributing to my makeover while forcing me to write this wretched column every morning, we do have a GoFundMe of our own located in the scroll below. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, fixing our teeth, hair, and complexion, redoing our office, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. State of the Paper Address for July 3rd, 2024. On this very slow news day where we're including a tiny tidbit of actual news here and there, it's time to take a good look at the paper and where things stand now that we've been dividing our time between producing a morning newspaper and an evening news broadcast on YouTube. Obviously, the big elephant in the room has been the nightly newscast and changing our focus from writing news articles for a tiny online newspaper to writing scripts for a 20-plus minute news broadcast every night. As we've stated before, gone are the days when we can get away with putting up a single news story or no news story at all. We've got the dreaded newscast to feed, and on days like this, with only a single real news story to feature, filling 20 minutes and hitting the mark of 3 to 4 news stories a day, including the GoFundMe coverage, for the paper means a very late issue. We've also took a tremendous hit over the past month as our Jose Chili de Castro coverage has all but dried up. De Castro's silence has cost us an audience share that I don't know if we'll be able to get back in the short term. People love reading about Jose Chili de Castro. They do, by far. He's always been our biggest draw. No one compares to him, and coverage of arguably bigger auditors draws in maybe two-thirds of the viewing numbers that a DeCastro article can do. For the website, our coverage of Karen Reed has flopped, as most of our readers don't care about her trial. While she's getting national news coverage, she's not a big enough name and not a big enough draw for our audience. A Reed story does maybe one quarter the audience of a DeCastro story, and that's rounding up in every imaginable way. Aidan Turtleboy Kearney isn't a big of a loser when it comes to coverage. His articles are about half that in drawing power of DeCastro's, but they're not winners. Our audience either doesn't know him or doesn't know about him enough to care to read coverage of him. In classic science fiction terms, he's the Gaius Baltar of Battlestar Galactica to DeCastro's Darth Vader of Star Wars. Sure, they're both evil in the semi-focus of villainry in their franchise, but they're simply not the same in drawing power. People care to hate DeCastro. They don't care to hate or love or anything really Turtle Boy. Our viewing numbers are going to be down as long as the media blackout by DeCastro continues. The good news is that DeCastro will be out of jail by the end of the month. Everything points to him returning to his channel with a vengeance. His Social Blade status has been climbing since he put Michael Eline out there to vertically stream and get the word out. Good times are coming. Chili's coming back. 3-hour godforsaken infomercials and mind-numbing lawsuits are in our future again. Yay! I need to start drinking. The paper may be late every day for a while, but it's not going anywhere. God help us all. DeCastro announces text messaging service idea. Jose Chile de Castro embraced classic liberalism in his latest message to his followers from the Clark County Detention Center on Tuesday, claiming that while he'd never go for socialism or communism, he would certainly back classic liberalism in his approach to politics when he is released from jail later this month. De Castro spent most of his address on the idea of a new bill that he claimed he would write and then introduce in committee in both California and Nevada as soon as he got out of jail. The bill would essentially establish a national government-run text messaging service. Powered by AI and featuring a menu system, De Castro's idea would be for a universal government-run, unblockable text message alert system that would remind people of upcoming court appearances, offer the ability to reschedule missed court appearances, and handle all child support payments. Under his system, those who miss child support payments would be given 24 to 48 hours to scramble like hell to pay the child support dues, or they'd have to report to jail. He justified the system as he met many an innocent man while in jail that were locked up for failing to pay child support, all of which who would have willingly paid the fees if they were only given more time. His system would also end immediate jailing for convictions of all crimes. Prisoners would be released from custody after sentencing and given 24 to 72 hours to voluntarily report to jail or prison after sentencing to get their affairs in order. De Castro claimed that 3 of his employees lost their jobs simply because the unprincipled and corrupt justice of the peace, Ann Zimmerman, took him into custody and sent him immediately to jail following his conviction for obstructing an officer and interfering in a traffic stop. Under De Castro's new system, he would have been released and given 24 to 72 hours to get his affairs in order and to protect the jobs of his employees. Despite his history of fleeing charges that he felt were unfair or designated to take him out while serving time, he would have voluntarily reported to jail once his affairs were in order or rescheduled the proper time to report to jail should he miss his window. Likewise, if someone had an outstanding warrant and were apprehended by police for the warrant, they would be given the ability to leave the arrest and either pay their fine or report to jail or prison within 24 to 72 hours. There would be no need to impound their cars or send police to take them to jail, as everyone would simply comply with the voluntary system. DeCastro embraced the ideas of Presidents William Taft and Teddy Roosevelt, who he claims believed in government working for the people. He also asserted that Teddy Roosevelt came up with the idea of Social Security 40 years before it was passed by Congress in order to help all Americans. He then hailed Roosevelt and Taft as his heroes and apologized for his previous disparagement of both men. DeCastro also rallied against the evils of GeoCorp and CoreCivic, multi-billion-dollar companies that control our prison systems. He asserted that his bill would take power out of their hands and bring it back to the people, should it be passed. The jailed YouTuber's appeal is set to be heard on July 10th, 2024. A special thank you. This is going out to all of you who have helped donate to our cat food fund over the last couple of months, in fact, over the last year since we've been asking for help. It wasn't easy to ask for help from anyone, as we've been pretty much taking care of animals on our own for the last few years, and we've been taking in the strays that we can because people simply dump strays up here, mainly cats with problems, older cats, some that have feline leukemia who need to be specially treated and kept away from the other cats as they're quite contagious. It's been a lot of work, and it took everything to actually ask for some help. Recently, we were accused of running some sort of scam. We asked for help with wet food and directed people to our Amazon.com registry list for the animals' needs. A certain person who will remain nameless basically told the world that we were somehow scamming and that we were, I don't know what he thought we were doing with the food other than giving it to the animals that we said we were giving it to. Well, since this person spoke out, I think I owe that person a special thank you, as donations, or actually gifts to the fund, skyrocketed, as you can see in the picture above. We're pretty good for at least this month. We're pretty good for probably next month. I'm not saying don't send us more. Dry food is more the need right now, but we're pretty good. And it's all because one asshole in Atlanta spoke out and accused us of wrongdoing. I can't prove that we're not wrongdoing. I could probably videotape the cats eating every morning because that's what you do with cat food. So to that person, I just want to say a very special thank you, as your efforts alone have sparked a completely new batch of people who have gifted us with food for all 20-something animals we're taking care of now, inside and outside of the house when needed. So thank you. And thank all of you for being here during this time. It's a tremendous amount of effort that we put into the animals. We try to get them all taken care of. We try to make sure that they're all at least eating and drinking during the incredible heat we're going through right now. And even worse, during the winter time, that making sure that they have shelter, making sure that they're okay to survive the winters in Pennsylvania, which can be pretty nasty if you're just a cat living outside. So again, thank you. Thank you. As you can hear one of the cats right now, you can hear Helen, who was once a stray herself, telling us that she wants her own food right now. Anyway, I'm leaving that in because Helen is being very loud and telling me it's time to go. So again, thank you so much for your help, and thank you for your future help as we continue to take care of the animals. Flashback, July 3rd, 2023. DeCastro goes there. Jose Chile DeCastro's YouTube livestream was awkward on Sunday at best, as the homeless future governor of a major state to be named later essentially went back there, and lived there for a while. After watching 2 videos featuring white protagonists of police stops and going through his usual motions of feigned outrage and creepy laughter, DeCastro featured a video of an African-American protagonist when he went there, loudly and repeatedly. There, of course, being an open discussion of the so-called N-word, and how he could no longer listen to his favorite music, 90s rap, because he was no longer allowed to sing the lyrics. He bemoaned the loss of the ability to listen to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and said that he would rather go without the music if he couldn't sing along to it, instead of dropping the subject and apologizing for bringing up a racially sensitive topic. DeCastro repeatedly went back to the use of the word and went further into his argument, claiming not to be a racist, and repeating previous claims that he only started his channel on TikTok because African Americans in America lacked a leader who was not associated with religion. The reaction of his 295 live viewers out of 194,000 subscribers was mixed at best, with several in chat criticizing his defense of the so-called N-word, which prompted him to further expound on his feelings about the word and its use in his culture. DeCastro continued to be tone-deaf in his discussion of the word, indicating if they were able to call each other the word, everyone should be able to use it freely. He further stated that he was not prejudiced in any way and only hated you if you were blue, apparently a reference to being a police officer, before wrapping up his broadcast by directing his viewers to his teachings on the history of institutional racism in America. DeCastro is expected to livestream again later on Monday, July 3rd, 2023. And that's it for another day, folks. Remember that tomorrow there is no newscast. We will be doing a very special look at our end credits. There's a lot of segments and a lot of fun that we've been putting up every day for the past month or so that we'd like to share in one little special for the holiday. Again, July 4th, so we're not going to be having a newscast. We will double the news on a Friday. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., though, I will be live, as I'm not sitting through having to pre-play the special, then go back and sit through it again tomorrow morning. So we're having our Chile DeCastro special, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you want something to do or something to listen to during the day, you do not have to be here live. I would never put anyone through that. But it is all the Chile DeCastro stories that we featured since going live on this channel, including the flashback ones, like the one from this morning. It should be a lot of fun. I think there's at least an hour of coverage. I'm not sure. I haven't actually gone through these. But it's a lot of memories of Chile and Chile stuff and Chile stupidity. So please stop by and let us know what you think. With that, I hope everyone has a healthy and safe holiday. I'm not doing anything tomorrow except getting the newspaper out, taking the day off, getting the couple specials played, and I'm probably gonna catch up with Starfield because I haven't played that in a long time. Anyway, I hope you're all safe tomorrow. I will see you again either tomorrow morning or Friday at our normal time. Remember, Friday we're also doing Drunk Girl Theater at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon where it counts, 11 a.m. Mountain, and 10 a.m. on the West Coast. We had a lot of fun with it this morning, and I hope you all will join us for the Friday edition, because we've got a couple of fun things planned. And yes, we totally derailed at one point this morning, or this afternoon. It's stupid, it's fun, but go back through and listen to it, as we had a couple of very special cases to go through. Anyway, again, I'm out of here. We do have a very special final word from Pope Phil, as it's the last end credit scene before tomorrow's big special. So we'll get to that in about a minute 35 seconds after the closing credits. Again, happy holiday all, and we'll see you again either tomorrow or on Friday.